on the Cragside Carriage Drive, which is in the grounds of Cragside Hall, National Trust property, Rothbury, Northumberland. I'm not sure if this is going to work for you today or not, because there's a bright sun way, and unfortunately it's shining directly onto the lens at the moment, so I'm not quite sure what you'll pick up, but here we go. The Carriage Drive itself is approximately 6 miles long. Allegedly there's 31 mile of road around the estate, as it's so huge, depending on whose statistics you believe, between 1,000 and 1,700 acres. And I thought today might be a nice day to show you around, as it's autumn and there's some fantastic colours, and there isn't lots of people here today, which is superb. So all of this that you're on now is man-made, the whole lot. It was a barren hillside until Lord Armstrong and his wife Lady Armstrong took it over, and they decided they would build one of the smartest houses of its time, which included hydraulic lift and rotisserie dumbwaiter for to send the food up from the kitchen. It also had the world's first electric light, incandescent light, made from the hydroelectricity that he used on the estate. Very cleverly, as you'll see as we go around, he's built a number of man-made lakes on the estate, which directly fed the water supply for the hydroelectricity. So a very, very clever man, and a very wealthy man as well. I hope you're enjoying the scenery as I'm blithering on here. So, as I say, barren hillside. Can't really wrap my head around the logistics, because apparently they've brought in the region of 7 million trees and shrubs to the estate. That's an enormous number, and just physically trying to get all of that planted out over years, but even so, absolutely unbelievable. You can see some of the really tall pine trees that were brought here, obviously. It's a narrow road, but all normal cars will be able to pass through this, no problem. There is a lot of footpaths as well, and I don't know whether cyclists are encouraged here or not, but there are many footpaths which zigzag all across the estate. There's some huge boulders. I've got no idea whether they were put in place or just as a result of I don't know, volcanic history or whatever originally put those rocks here. Ice Age, maybe. It's fantastic, basically, to have the road to yourself. Means I can slow down if there's anything of interest for you to have a look at. Here's a little bit you should be careful on, sticky out rocks here. And a telephone call that's not wanted. That's right. See if I can cut that bit out. Sorry about that. It's my mate Spam. Rings me about 6 or 7 times a day. Lord Armstrong actually put an internal telephone system in his house when it was built, first one ever as well in the world. I bet he didn't get any spam calls though. Yeah, so today we talk about smart homes with all our technology, all our Google products. But yeah, I think Lord Armstrong would be the first one to have ever invented a smart home. Brought many people here. Obviously, he was a businessman as well, so he brought many people here to show off, including the King of Persia and the soon-to-be King Edward the VII, I believe. This is obviously a one-way system, so you're not likely to meet something coming in the other direction. There's a little waterfall there to my right, which obviously you can't see as I'm driving along. A couple of people there taking photographs with their dog as well. I think you have to keep your dog on the lead here. It was a beautiful sunny day when I decided I would come up and do the carriage run, but unfortunately it's getting a little bit cloudy at the minute. The estate's busy setting up at the moment for Christmas, so I think they do put up a lot of Christmas lights and align some of the drives towards the house with Christmas trees and things like that. See that there, that is actually a boathouse, but no lake. There was the lake there at one point, now not needed. There are 5 lakes on the estate, I presume that was enough. It still is very beautiful, but I think a bit of sunshine does alter everything as well. So not a bad day anyway. Let's continue. Somebody ahead of us walking on the road. Not wishing to scare them if they haven't heard me. There must be lots of wildlife in here, deers, etc., but do keep themselves hidden and scarce. Right, coming up to the first lake. If I can pull over here, I shall give you a little look Okay, so I've stepped out the car to show you the lake. This is the first lake, I believe. Well, it certainly is on the Carriage Drive. One of 5 man-made lakes. In my opinion, it actually appears to be too beautiful to be man-made. You'd think only nature could do something like this, but it is man-made and it's stunning. Quite a large lake as well. I'm just going to try and get a bit further along and let you look back down where. There's plenty of picnic areas here, as you can see across the far side. There's picnic stools and some more over there. There's a couple sitting up on a park bench up there. I don't know if you can. Shall we zoom in? We'll zoom in and have a look. Oop, where are you? There you are. I bet you don't know you're up here on video. Okay, and just scanning around, looking down the lake there. Magic. Okay, let's return to the car. Okay, so we're gonna start on our journey again. As you can see, the clouds are gathering in. Very beautiful, very. So, as I said, Lady Armstrong had a lot to do with the landscaping. I don't think she actually used a shovel or anything, but you know, directed those who did. The estate is now very famous for its rhododendrons, where I know a lot of people come from all over the country. I think it's probably one of the best shows of rhododendrons in the UK, without a doubt. As you go around, as you can see, there are signposts. There are play areas for children, etc., and picnicking. So you can just focus in on those for a second. And off we go. Right, at some point shortly I'm going to stop talking, and I might put a bit of music on for the end of the journey. I should have said this earlier, but if you like these sort of things, please give it a thumbs up. I would like you to subscribe, because that really does help. It doesn't cost anything. It's no commitment there at all on your part, but it certainly helps the channel. So please subscribe. If you do have any comments, include those as well. Be interesting to know whether you would have any ideas of things you might want me to look at and do a video on. Speed limit there of 15 miles an hour, but we're doing well below that. So there must be a lot of maintenance to do on the estate itself, as what we said, 6 mile carriage drive, and they're trimming the hedges on either side, obviously. So Nelly Moss, I think there's a couple of lakes called Nelly Moss, so this must be one of them. One I just stepped out of the car to show you. Or is that just the next one next to? I think they're both sort of just divided.